So in this video we'll be creating this. As I told you in the last video, I like to draw characters or any illustration inside After Effects. I would not really recommend this to you guys. You can save tons of time by using Illustrator, but I don't know how to use it, so I prefer After Effects instead. And I'll start off by drawing the illustration and I'll get back to you guys once I'm done. Also make sure to draw the body parts that you want animated separately so it's easier for you to animate. Alright, so now that I'm done with the character, it's time to animate. I'll reposition the anchor points to animate them accordingly. I'll parent the hand with the forearm. Now press R on your keyboard and animate the hand to your line. As you can see, I'm not using any specific numbers for animation, it's just a random movement. Select the keyframe and press F9 to adjust the graph. Now move a few keyframes and animate some random movement. It's completely up to you, you don't really have to be specific. Now take a null object for smooth movement of the arm. Parent both the forearm and the hand with the null object. Press R on your keyboard, put a keyframe, skip a few seconds and put another keyframe. Select the keyframe, press F9 and adjust the graph. It looks so much better and smoother now. To keep it smoother, go to the forearm and create a keyframe for the rotation and again add a random movement to it. Repeat the process for the length of your composition. I'll pre-compose it to stay organized. Now it's time to animate the head. Once again, I'm adjusting the anchor point. Press R plus Shift P on your keyboard, skip a few seconds, change the rotation a little bit, adjust the position, select the keyframes, press F9 and adjust the graph. Now for smooth movement, take a new null object and adjust the anchor point and parent the face composition with the null object. Now press R on your keyboard, put a keyframe, move a few seconds, change the rotation a little bit. Press Shift P, put a keyframe for position and adjust the position according to your line. Okay, that looks pretty smooth. Now move a few seconds and put another keyframe for position. Add some random movement. Don't loop the composition. It looks too geeky in animation or it looks too basic. Add random movement to the face using null and face composition. Alright, so now that I'm done with the animation, I will pre-compose all of it. I will just increase the composition size to make the table. I don't know what to call it really, but I will draw a rectangle. Go to Effects and Controls and search for Drop Shadow. Apply it onto the top of the table. Set the distance to 0 and increase the softness. Okay, looks good. Now draw a rectangle, turn off the fill and set the stroke size to probably like 16. Increase the roundness. I will reduce the stroke size to 4. Type your text, center align the text inside the box by pressing Ctrl and adjusting its position. I have downloaded some icons from Flat Icon. You can also download any icon from this website. I will add fill to it to make it white. I'm going to change my text from senator to you can buy a senator for $10,000. Now adjust the position of your text. I will select the upper text and make it light. Draw another box and repeat the same process. I will search for Deep Glow. By the way, this is a paid plugin by AE Script. So apply it onto the rectangle, go to Chromatic Aberration and click Enable. And there you go, you have Iman Gadhzi's RGB glow. Take an adjustment layer, create a mask around the adjustment layer, go to Effects and Control, search for Deep Glow. Apply it onto the adjustment layer, increase the feather of the mask. Set the radius to 0.20. Alright, it looks great already. Time to create background. Take a solid layer, set the color to dark gray. Duplicate the solid, go to Effects and Controls, search for grid. Apply the grid effect onto the solid layer. Set the border to 2 and adjust the corner values according to your line. Now pre-compose the grid layer and mask it. Increase the feather of the mask and reduce the opacity to 30. Alright, it's looking good so far. Okay, now pre-compose the background and increase the size of the composition. I'm doing it completely randomly. Remove the pre-comp, add grid to the solid layer. Now I will adjust the corner values and border. Now take a null object, parent all the layers with the null object, except the background and the character. Basically, we are just parenting the boxes with the null. Press P on your keyboard and move the boxes out of the scene. Select the keyframes, press F9 and adjust the graph. Now select the character composition, press and drag it down to the bottom. Select all the keyframes, press F9 and adjust the position. And we have this. Now it's time for the hands with the strings. I got this illustration from FreePic. You can download it there. Now as usual, I will draw on it and I will get back to you guys. Add dashes to the strings and animate them. Now to save time, go to project and duplicate the hand composition. I will adjust the positioning of the hands. Now select the text tool and write your text. I will write puppets because that's the context of the video I'm editing. Adjust the positioning, parent the text layer with the character, go to effects and preset and search for blur. Apply it onto the text layer. Now create a round shape between the hands and I will type the manipulators. Select manipulators and make it thin. Adjust its position and apply the blur effect onto the text. Go to add trim paths, put a keyframe on the end, skip a few seconds and put a keyframe. Go back to the first keyframe and set the end value to 0. Now take a new null object and parent the hands with the null object. Press P on your keyboard and animate the position of the hand. Select the keyframes, press F9 and adjust the graph. Now go to the hand composition, click add and add trim paths. Create a keyframe on the end, skip a few seconds and create another keyframe. Press F9 and adjust the graph. Now select the keyframe and copy paste them in all the other shape layers. Pre-compose all the shape layers and add gradient ramp to it. Select the dropper and pick your color. Now create a round shape around the puppet. Click add and add trim paths. Create a keyframe on the end, skip a few seconds and create another keyframe. Go back to the first one and set the end value to 0. Now parent the shape layer with the character composition and we are done. Here's the final version.